Based on the last election, and it's surprising that they actually won the re-election, considering the level of ineptitude that was shown by the people at the realms of affairs. There's no accountability. It's being operated. The government is being operated like it's a cult.
You are welcome to the platform. My name is Oluwalo Sheifumi da Silva. I'm the anchor for this program. The next 30 minutes to 1 hour, I'll be taking you through our guests. The platform treats issues on economy, commerce, politics, religion, international relations and diplomacy, and all issues about human endeavor. With me on the program today is...
My name is Bibiire. I'm a digital content creator, PR expert, and political enthusiast.
With the developments in Kwara State, starting from Kwara, how do you rate the various political parties based on the last election?
Based on the last election, let me start from the ruling party. And it's surprising that they actually won the re-election, considering the level of ineptitude that was shown by the people at the realms of affairs. And when you look at the level of resources they have and how they have not displayed, there's no accountability. There is it's being operated. The government is being operated like it's a cult, and to think that they still come out to campaign and they are still re-elected actually shows a lot about we the citizens and we the voters. Nothing really about politicians, because they are always going to be politicians, but the level of exposure and understanding of the citizen and voters is what is actually hilarious to me. And from the opposition party, which is the People's Democratic Party, I feel like there were a lot of in-house buaha, that I feel like we should have sorted out and scrabbled. That would have made us have all hands on deck and would have easily made us win the election. But nonetheless, I personally, I don't count my losses. I always learn from my losses. So I feel like it's a very good opportunity for us to learn from our mistakes and move on from the mistakes.
Okay. It is often said that PDP is not giving the ruling party a credible opposition enough. Why is this so?
When you look at the people at the realms of the party structure from 2019 down to 2023, there's a certain age you get to that that struggle, that ginger is not there again. But with the restructuring that is ongoing, we at least have the influx of 2 new young people who are passion driven, and they have the ginger and the zeal to actually be on their feet and get things done. And I feel like if we have more people who are young and I'm not saying particularly discard the old people, but if you have a balanced mixture of the old and the young people they have the drive, they have the passion, they have the energy. The old people have the wisdom and the knowledge. If you combine wisdom and knowledge with energy, zeal, you actually get amazing results. So by the time the two generations come together and unite, it's going to be amazing. And I mean, literally, they should watch out. The only thing is, these people in government, they are thirsty. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but they are so thirsty for power, and they gag you when you talk. Recently they just arrested 2 journalists who brought out an article for people who rode on propaganda and lies to power. Surprisingly, they cannot take half an inch of what they dish.
All right. It's often said that there's no permanent friendship in politics. There can only be permanent interests. Assuming the ruling party comes forward to invite you to join them in making a better Kwara state, will you not accept the offer?
By join, I don't really understand.
To join hands with them in the running of Kwara affairs better.
Personally, I'm more particular about the progress of my state, Kwara State. If I can do that in my own personal capacity, I don't see the need to be in government with the people I don't believe in what they carry, and they don't want to be held accountable, and they don't see the need to put people who understand what they need, or people who, you know, there's this thing putting young people is amazing, right? But like putting young people who understand what they need to come and do, and putting young people who have the zeal to actually go forward. I'm hoping that this new set of young people that you just put forward would play a major difference. But the ones that were there before, I'm sorry cases. But personally, I don't believe in what they carry, and I don't see myself. I'm not a typical politician. I'm a very loyal politician, and irrespective of whatever juicy offers, I'm honestly not interested. I can contribute my quota to my state in my own personal capacity. I mean, I have an NGO that I run, and I do the little I can do without even being in government.
All right. In retrospect, there was this NSAS issue in 2020, and the matter is vibrating till now. What do you have to say about the NSAS so far?
I feel like the Nigerian police force have not learned enough, or is that what I should say here? I'm hoping that with the new IG, he doesn't take nonsense. He worked in Kwara. It was in Kwara when we actually did the NSAS protest, and it was an amazing CP when he was in Kwara. He did support the protest, and he gave us actually men to protect us. And so I'm looking forward to him actually making sure the things he did in Kwara is going to be done nationwide. While he was in Kwara, and every single time we reported any case of police brutality to him, is more or less like he's taking side with the civilian. He makes sure that the case gets treated accordingly. While he was in Kwara, there was literally very minimal cases of police brutality. Now that he's gone, it's a sorry case. We have literally police stopping you, double crossing you in the middle of the road, creating nuisance just because you drive some certain type of car, or because you. Today we heard that there was somebody arrested just because he was going out to charge his laptop at a shop where because they don't have light in his house. Is so appalling, and I'm hoping that they don't push people to that extent where they come out to voice out and say that they are tired. And as it is going on in Kwara, other states are also complaining about the same thing, but Ilorin is worse. I've been to Lagos. I see how the police operate in Lagos, and I see how they conduct their stop and search. Here they behave like they have no moral grandstanding whatsoever. There's a video going around of where they were actually eating an innocent guy with gun, and it's very sad, because if that guy had some certain power, or he had something on him, if he was in America, if that guy had a gun on him, they would have shot you. You don't push people you say, okay, we are peace loving, but don't push people to the wall and expect them not to turn back at you and fight back. It's not possible. I'm looking forward to meeting with the new CP we have in Kwara State, so at least we can talk and understand, okay, this can't keep going on. It's affecting businesses. People can't even come out. Now it's not even about fraud. I don't support fraud. It's not about fraud or no fraud. You can just be fresh. Because you dress good, you are automatically a target. I know somebody who sold a piece of his land just to bail himself. This guy was found clean. There was nothing on his phone, but he wasn't still going to be freed. And he was threatening that he was going to be paraded with hardened criminal. What do you expect? This was as far back as 2019 or something. And if they threaten to parade you with criminals, what do you expect? You look for every means to bail yourself, because nobody will believe your story. You go explain entire, no evidence. Do you understand? So I'm looking forward to a state where people can walk freely and not be bothered about, oh, police are going to harass me today, I have to dress a certain type of way. You cannot, because there's nothing that can, before they say if you wear native they won't harass you. That one is story for the gods. So now wear anything you like. If they will harass you, they will harass you. They now have popular points where they stop and search and harass people, and it's just very appalling. Kwara State is not known for that. They should just not spoil the state for us. So I'm looking forward to the IG actually putting laws in place that will make sure and make this thing just not make this thing get out of sight, and just make sure that this thing is eradicated.
All right, you are youths, and there is the belief that youths are the leaders of the future, and the future is now. Do you think the present class of youths have any good plan for Nigeria, and how can they go about it without the elderly, experienced people?
That's the thing, we can't do without the elderly people. We need their wealth of knowledge, we need their experience, we need them to guide us through the process. We can't say it is time for us and now telegragra and step on toes because we want to. I'm of the opinion that nobody gives you power. You have to fight for the power. But while fighting for the power, make sure you don't step on toes that can actually crush you. You understand? But the future is now, yeah? If people who have the capacity don't come into politics, we're going to have ridiculous people at the realms of affairs. Politics is not for thugs. Politics is not for uneducated people. If educated people don't come into politics, we're going to have people
illiterate.
Yeah, we're going to have illiterate leaders. We're going to have leaders who have nothing to offer. If people who have a lot to offer don't come into the system, we're going to still keep getting it wrong. So whether, if you know that you have what it takes to take the country forward, you need to be ready to volunteer to serve. That's the difference between our country and countries who are developed. I mean, every country is still developing, but like the pace is faster in some other countries because people who have things to offer actually volunteer to come into government to serve. So we need to keep running from our responsibilities and actually face the fact.
Okay, so how are you reaching out to people in your constituency to educate them and entertain them on the need to come out to join politics?
I'm trying. I can't do it all, and considering that I'm a girl child, it's pretty dicey to just go in and say you want to talk to people about politics. But with the little I can, I'm pretty confident that people understand. I have quite a number of young girls that I, under my mentorship, that I encourage to not deter from coming into politics, irrespective of the name calls or the tags or whatever it is. So it takes you convincing one person and that one person convincing one person. It's a chain that we have to develop. You can't just call 1 million people. Out of that 1 million people, if one person gets the message, at least that's something. That one person will keep spreading the message, and like that we keep lighting up the room.
All right. Politics is dirty. The youths are being used to do the dirty jobs. Thuggery, sometimes eliminating the political opponents.
Yeah.
Do you think the youths are not constituting problem to this thing?
My own is anybody can be a nuisance, irrespective of age. At least we can see videos of people over 50. They are not young people, over 50, who are thugs and who constitute nuisance. And we have people who are young and also constitute nuisance. I don't think is age. There's no age to being a nuisance. But I just want to ask those young people that for how long do they want to continue? How long do you think that's going to continue? When there's an opportunity for you to serve, when there's an opportunity for you to shine, they won't put you there. They have people who they are eyeing, and they know that they are not thugs. If you play a thug today, you are forever going to be a thug. So the earlier you understand, the better for you. The earlier you brand yourself, the better for you. They're going to keep using you as a thug to break your fellow young people or to break your fellow citizens. So the earlier, the better for everybody.
All right. This is Kwara, your state. In your own vision, your own dream, what kind of Kwara are you envisaging for the future?
I'm looking at a Kwara where every single person understands their rights. I'm looking at a Kwara where the leaders are
okay.
I'm looking forward to a Kwara where the citizens understand their rights, where the leaders are accountable to the citizens. I'm looking forward to a Kwara that actually works, where we don't celebrate mediocre. I'm looking forward to a Kwara where we put quality people in power. We put quality people without questionable education. I'm a graduate. I have my BSc, have MBA, currently doing my master's. I don't think it is encouraging to know that we have a governor who is rumored not to have an SSC. So I'm looking forward to a state where we actually sit down carefully and select our leaders. We've had doctors as governors, we've had credible people. So I think I expect more from my state, and I'm hoping that moving forward we're going to have people of actually people who understand what it is to govern, not people who are there by chance.
You have friends cutting across all political parties.
Yes.
How do you cope with each other when you meet off political terrain?
Even during politics, I play my own politics in a very different way. I'm educated, and my education shows in the way I play my politics. I don't create enemies for myself because I don't believe in burning bridges. Just like you said earlier, there's no permanent friends or enemies in politics. I mean, in Nigeria, 1 minute you're here, next minute you're there. Looking at how we cross carpets in Nigeria, I operate on a issues-based campaign. If I'm campaigning for something or for somebody, I face what the person has to offer. Except to come for me, I don't go personal while I'm doing my campaign, and that's why I've been able to maintain my relationship with every single person I have across all political parties.
So what is the future of PDP in Kwara State?
I mean, I can't talk for the party. I don't hold any position in the party. I'm hoping that the future is bright, and bright enough for everyone who has worked, and hoping that everyone who has labored reap the fruits of their labor.
Are you saying you are not prepared to cross carpets to any other party?
I mentioned that I'm a loyal politician. Yes, I'm in PDP solely because I follow my leader, Dr. Bukola Saraki. So if he goes to, he's in PDP, so I'm in PDP. I'm a loyal politician. I'm loyal to him, his leadership, and his political structure.
Okay, that means if he goes to that part today, you will still follow him?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Now let's come personal. What is your belief about matrimonial institution?
I'm a huge fan of the matrimonial institution. I'm a sucker for love. I love love. So I'm happy when I see people share happy marriages. Looking at how people just talk about breakup, divorce these days, when I see people actually share positive stories, it gives me joy, and is actually irrespective. I know I'm going to get married and I'm going to have children, and mine is going to work. I mean, that's the prayer that I say, but I solely believe in the institution.
So when are you going to get married?
Pretty soon, actually.
Can you let the ball out of the cards for us to know the lucky guy?
When I post my wedding pictures, everybody will see.
Okay. All right. Yes, just talk about the rate at which marriages break these days.
Yes.
I know you express concerns over broken homes. Do you think most youths of these days, they are prepared for matrimony?
The thing is, matrimony is not about whether you are young or whether you are old. Even a lot of old people that are still married today are married because they don't want people to talk about them. That a lot of marriages are just patching that let's just stay married. There is the need to understand that it's a lot. Actually, the whole institution is a lot. You have to be ready to compromise. You have to be ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn. You have to be forgiving. You have to understand that things will not always go your way. Marriage is a lot, and except you're ready to give a lot, then it's not going to work.
All right. Nigeria is facing economic hardship for now, based on the lopsidedness in the policy of the federal government.
Yeah.
How do you react to this, especially on the petroleum subsidy removal?
They should help us. We are suffering. That's the tea. Because the whole thing economists have been saying, I'm not an economist, but we are suffering. I feel like the timing of I'm a huge fan of subsidy removal, but I feel like the timing is wrong, and it should have come a time where we would have been able to stabilize our money. We should just be able to stabilize a lot of things before we now say we want to do BAM. It's like all the suffering at the same time. Do you understand? So it's a lot to take in at the same time. But like, they should look for a way, maybe they can start by, they said they want to give grants and then reduce the lending rate. It did not reduce, it have increased. So they should look into it and help people have access to facilities to be able to continue their businesses. Yeah, that's it. Then declaring and forwarding rates, it has gone, it's too much. We understand that we want to reduce some things, but some of us cannot just help but import. So yeah.
All right. Talking about this closure of border, do you think when the border is too porous, it will not affect the economy negatively?
Do we have border? Do we have?
We do.
We don't get border. Just stick. That's not what they call border. They are just making people suffer, and they are just making a living for the custom officers. We don't have border. All those ones they are saying is just story for the gods. Say we get border for Nigeria, that one I wash. We don't get. We don't have border.
Okay, if you have to meet President Bola Ahmed Tinubu one-on-one, what will you tell him?
First, they should reduce the lending rate. Second, they should, this stock greeting, they need to find a way to it. I'm sure you understand why I'm telling him that. They need to find a way and reduce it drastically, if not eradicate it. Second, this they should stabilize the rates at which people are selling petrol. We need to have a uniform price. Some people are selling 600 and some people are selling, they should have a uniform rate. That way nobody is cheating anybody. And then the DPM should make sure they check and make sure everybody is selling. The pump works right. Some of those pumps have been rigged. They should make sure that all those things. Then lastly, security. We don't even feel sleep close eye. As in, we don't feel sleep close. Everything is crazy. I just saw a picture of somebody that left Odunlade and is going to UITH, and it's been over 1 month they've been looking for that person. Clearly, God let them find that person, but I suspect that the person has probably been kidnapped, and maybe they could not call the family and maybe sold off for rituals or something, God forbid. But I'm hoping that they find the person. But like in the act of Ilorin, they are kidnapping you. So how? I'm wondering how people from other states are going to be coping. People in the core north, people that are living inside bushes, people in Asa local government, how are they going to be coping? They need to do something about the security of the country generally.
Okay, how do you address the issue of conditions attached to federal government student loan introduced by the federal government?
The Kinigan, I read the I read the criteria. How do they want to meet up? It's a good thing if they can set it up. It's a good thing. It will help, at least it will help a lot of people that don't have access to funds and that want to school. It will help them actually go to school. It will help them. That is if it is easily accessible by everybody. But with the criteria that I read, I don't see how people that actually need it can access it.
So what other message do you have to Nigerians generally, especially youths?
I feel like we should be best ambassadors of ourselves. We should represent the youth well, and we should develop ourselves and get ready for what we are clamoring for. That's it.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.